Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. This is the ABC series, started in September 2013. It ran for 7 seasons through 2010, and oh man, it's no 2020. Sorry, 2020, 2010. I would go back in time. I mean, there is time travel in this series, but yeah, okay, 2013, 2020. Yeah, it was not a surprising end. I mean, it kind of ran its course, went through a number of cast changes, and went down a number of rabbit holes. I've seen the whole series. I've watched the whole series. Some of my friends kind of gave up on it, even though they're devout Marvel fans. But yeah, because I think this was not necessarily canon. Realize that in the first season they do their best to tie this as much as possible into the MCU. There's a pretty strong connection to Marvel, to Thor's The Dark World, where they have to sort of clean up the mess in London afterwards, and Sif shows up in at least more than one occasion. They do make references to all the stuff that happened in the Avengers film. There's probably an Ultron reference at some point, but even in the pilot, one of the characters, played by J. August Richards, you might recognize him from the Angel TV series that Joss Whedon and company all created way back when, spinoff of Buffy. J. August Richards makes a guest appearance in this, and will return in later episodes, but he has extremis in his system, or at least it's one of many different things in his system, put it there by a nefarious, mysterious group. It's got gamma radiation. It's got the super soldier serum, and a whole bunch of other stuff mixed in. And extremis is the thing that people were getting injected with in Iron Man 3, which had been released a few months earlier, back in May of 2013. So it was doing all it could to connect everything. And just like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., this is pretty much the aftermath of the Avengers film from 2012. In Iron Man 3 was Tony's dealing with the craziness, the big scale craziness of the Avengers film, making it a much smaller film, more personal film as he dealt with PTSD. This introduces a character we all thought was dead. Agent Coulson, who was killed by Loki, steps out of the shadows and makes a joke about stepping out of the shadows, which is the Whedon way. He he shows up to tell everybody, hey, my death was faked. I went to Tahiti and now I'm back, and that has a whole lot more meaning to it than he realizes. And it's hinted at. Kobe Smulders, who shows up as Maria Hill from the Avengers movie, she makes a guest appearance in this. She has a little chat with Ron Glass, who played Book in Firefly. Yes, by the way, just about every supporting character that ever appeared in a Joss Whedon production, from Buffy, Angel, Dollhouse, Firefly, Dr. Horrible, all that stuff. Pretty much somebody from each one of those things makes an appearance. And it makes sense because the people who actually are running the show are his brother Jed Whedon and his wife Marissa Tancheron. And I hope I pronounced that right. Marissa, I am so sorry if I didn't. But losing my voice here. So yeah, this is sort of an we have to treat it, since it's not part of the official MCU at the time it was being made. It is an alternate reality in which Coulson did not get brought back, in the proper MCU, Coulson did not come back. In this one, he did, and he runs a brand new S.H.I.E.L.D. team of his very own, populated with Ming-Na, who we know as Mulan, and Fennec Shand from The Mandalorian. She plays Agent May, and we get a bunch of other fun characters throughout this that share names with characters in the comics. Chloe, oh man, I should have brought this up. I thought I could just pull it out of my head like I normally do with anything Marvel, but I can't for some reason right now. Brain not working good. but one of the characters in this is Quake, and later on, in later seasons, we'll see Yo-Yo, and we'll see a number of other characters that have made appearances in Marvel Comics first, and make their way into the Marvel universe. This version, and again, hey, it's not may not be mainstream MCU canon, but it doesn't mean it has any technical. Well, okay, yes, it has a little bit less value than proper MCU because we all love the main MCU, but because of Spider-Man: No Way Home and the Multiverse of Madness, which is coming later this week, you, all realities matter. To borrow a phrase, so all realities connect. Hey, whether it's this or Cloak and Dagger or Runaways or whatever it is, they're all part of a Marvel universe. They may not all just be a part of the same one. So yeah, and by the way, Cloak and Dagger and Runaways are in the same universe because they did a little crossover. But this one is its own thing, and there are lots and lots and lots of characters throughout this that make nods to parts that the MCU was not making use of. We get Deathlock at one point. We get not yeah, we just get a lot of characters, but what we get is also a lot of actors. Kyle MacLachlan, Adrian Padalecki, uh, man, blanking. Patton Oswalt shows up. We also get Bill Paxton. Bill Paxton plays a really good character at some point in the show, and there's lots and lots of guest appearances and also appearances of characters we know from the comics that have their first live action existence, technically. They might be totally reinterpreted and played by totally different actors when or if those characters ever join the MCU proper. Like, we have Mockingbird, who at one point was played by Adrian Padalecki, who is, I hope I'm saying that right. Jeez. I really should have brought it up so I could read the name. But she's on the Orville now. But she plays Mockingbird, who in the comics was married to Hawkeye at one point. Well, we can't have that. Oh, but wait. Didn't we have a hint that in the Hawkeye miniseries on Disney Plus that his wife also used to work for S.H.I.E.L.D. and wonder who she might be playing? Could she be also Mockingbird in a different Linda Cardellini? It doesn't matter. This is about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So, yeah, if you're a Marvel fan, obviously you probably want to be watching this. If you haven't watched it already, you can binge the whole thing, all 7 seasons worth. In quality and story, it goes up and down. It has that winking, Whedon-esque type of humor that is very pop culture referencey and just smart-ass kind of commentary on what is happening when it's happening. You either love it or you hate that. Some people just... Unfortunately, there are big stakes, high stakes that take place in this, but you know that they have no high stakes that will ever affect the MCU proper. The same thing works with Jessica Jones or Daredevil, or even if you watch... those are all Netflix shows that are now on Disney Plus. But Moon Knight, when you see Moon Knight, or you see the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or Loki, or WandaVision, or Ms. Marvel, all these characters that are having their own series, She-Hulk, have all these their own series, they will have direct connections and interactions and have effects upon the MCU, the greater MCU as a whole. So, it's making things. That's what makes them to some of us nerds. Those shows a little bit more palatable because we know that little things in that can add up to bigger things later. The MCU films made a very conscious choice never to say, well, Coulson's alive. As much as the characters all loved him, it kind of, I think the attitude was it minimized his sacrifice, his loss, which is what Nick Fury used in the Avengers film. the death of Coulson is what brought the Avengers together. He, as much as he did not want Coulson to die, he very much did everything he could to make his sacrifice big enough to manipulate everybody on the team or the non-team to become a team of Avengers to stop the Chitauri and Loki and, hey, Thanos, secretly from afar. So yeah, it's you don't need to know the MCU as a whole to understand this, and as things go on later and later, it goes further and further away. It doesn't try to marry itself to whatever big movie is happening in the theaters, but it takes a few seasons until they sort of go off in their own direction, which is fine. Which is fine. If you can appreciate this on its own, but it's to me, I think it would have been better if it had been considered canon, but it's not. So I know it's a lot of talk about canon when I mean, it's well acted. You love Clark Gregg as Agent Coulson, so he's always he's a fan favorite no matter what universe he's in. So it's great to have him on this, and Agent May, Ming-Na Wen, Elizabeth Henstridge plays Simmons. She plays Simmons. Yeah, kind of had a crush on her. She's super cute, and she's British. So yeah, I just loved her accent. And there's just a lot packed into these seasons that you might get a kick out of. Other people who are just a little bit too obsessive about the details of the Marvel Universe might get a little bored or distracted. It may not feel like making it all the way through, but hey, to each of their own. It's a fun ride for the most part. Yes, it's not perfect. No TV series is, I don't think. Gravity Falls is pretty perfect, but either way, Marvel shows, none of them are perfect. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can say that. Somebody will complain about something no matter what, no matter how good it is, they'll complain about it. But this, take it for what it is. Don't try to make it for what it's not. Probably one of the last things they do to keep tied in to the Marvel Universe, the MCU, is by the way, I'm saying Marvel Cinematic Universe. MCU is the short version. Is when Captain America Winter Soldier happened, and Hydra was revealed to be a big part of S.H.I.E.L.D. And that actually had a huge impact on this series. And it actually was a pretty cool element of this series, and it caused some major revelations about certain characters, about who they really were. And it created a whole new dynamic for a lot of the core team here. Not everybody survives the series, not surprisingly. But yeah, but who's ever really dead in comic movies or comics? So I do not doubt that at some element in the future we might see a version of these characters in the MCU. Who knows? Anyway, and of course we're going to see Phil Coulson again in probably the next Captain Marvel film, maybe, or Secret Invasion, possibly. That series on Disney Plus. We'll see. I don't know. But what I do know is we can pick tomorrow's episode. Oh, it's May tomorrow. No? 103? Did I not have the volume? The volume's all the way down, I guess. Sorry. 103. Come on. Oh, okay. We just saw the original film. Oh no. Yeah, no. We saw one of the original films in this series a few weeks ago. Not too long ago. I'm not sure where this falls in the order of films, but hey, we're going back to the Wimpy Kid universe. Wimpy Kid cinematic universe. This is Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Dog Days. So, yeah. All right, cool. I like that first film. Let's see how this one holds up. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Dog Days on the next Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye.